Dear students, today I am going to explain capacitance of parallel plate capacitor. The previous class we have discussed about the capacitance of an isolated conductor and the capacitance of the cylindrical conductor. So today we will discuss the parallel plate conductor. So for which we have to choose two parallel plates M and N. Here you can observe this is the M and this is N. M and N both are in parallel, both are having the same dimension. So A is the area, so both are having the same area because they are having the same dimension. And these two parallel plates are separated by a distance small d. So d is the separation distance between the two plates, and this gap is filled by the air. Here we use air as a dielectric medium, and any medium we can use as a dielectric medium to increase the capacitance of the capacitor. But here for our convenience we use the air medium as the dielectric medium. And now a charge plus Q is given to the plate M. So here this is the M, and this plate, for this plate we are given the plus Q charge. So therefore plus Q charge will be distributed in the inner surface of the conductor. So therefore there will be an induction of the charges. The minus Q charges will be induced on the inner surface of the plate N. So for this plate N, a minus Q charges will be distributed in the inner surface, and the same amount of the plus Q charges will be induced on the outer surface of this plate. But this outer surface is connected to earth, so therefore all the charges will be discharged through the earth. So now we have to calculate the capacitance of the capacitor. So therefore we have to keep the d, small d, separation of the two plates as very small, because to increase to ignore the fringing effect at the ends of the conductor, so we have to keep the small d very small compared to the dimensions of the plate M and N. And wherever the charge is there, we can find the electric field intensity. So therefore here the electric lines of force will be generated, and they are originate from the plate M and terminates at the plate N. So because the electric lines of force is a vector quantity, so there will be a direction. So that direction is always from the positive charge to the negative charge. So therefore electric lines of force is starting from the plate M and ending at the plate N. So now we have to calculate the electric field in between the parallel plates. So therefore we have to be apply the Gauss law. So by the application of Gauss law we can calculate the electric field between the two plates. That electric field between the two plates is E is equal to sigma divided by epsilon naught. So we know that the electric field due to parallel plate for any single plate, so the electric field will be equal to sigma divided by 2 epsilon naught. But here we have the two parallel plates, so therefore the net electric field will be equal to sigma divided by the epsilon naught. So here the sigma is the surface charge density, so therefore the sigma will be equal to charge divided by surface area. Sigma is equal to Q divided by A. So that is the surface charge density or surface density of charge. And now we have to find the potential difference between the plates M and N, because our aim is to find the capacitance of the two parallel plate capacitor. So for which, as per the definition, the capacitance of the capacitor is equal to Q divided by V, potential difference. So therefore we have to find the potential difference between the two plates M and N, and that will be equal to V is equal to integral from d to 0 minus E into dr. So because why we are taking the limits from d to 0 is So the plate M is at a distance 0, plate N is at a distance D. So therefore we are bringing the charge from plate N to plate N. Sorry, plate N to plate M. So therefore we have to take the limits from D to 0 and minus E into dr. And here the E is the electric field intensity. So electric field intensity, we got that sigma divided by epsilon naught. Say minus sigma divided by epsilon naught into dr. So that is equal to, here minus sigma divided by epsilon naught is the constant term you can take outside, and integration of dr is r. So apply the limits from d to 0. So upper limit is 0. So therefore 0 minus d. So sigma, so that will be equal to sigma d divided by epsilon naught, because minus into minus is plus. So now we got the potential difference between the plates M and N is V is equal to sigma small d whole divided by epsilon naught. So now we have to calculate the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor. So therefore C is equal to, as per definition, capacitance of the capacitor is equal to the ratio of the charge to the potential difference. So the charge Q will be equal to sigma A, because sigma is equal to Q divided by A. So therefore Q is equal to sigma A. So in the previous case you can see, so this is E is equal to sigma is equal to Q divided by A, then Q is equal to sigma into A. So therefore Q is equal to sigma A whole divided by V is sigma D divided by epsilon naught. Here sigma and sigma both will get cancelled, and this epsilon naught will move to the numerator, and A will be there, say the numerator epsilon naught A divided by D. So thus capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor will be equal to epsilon naught A divided by D. So where D is the separation of the two plates and A is the area of the conductor. So therefore the capacitance of the capacitor is purely depends on dimension of the conductor. So that means it depends only on size and shape of the conductor, not depends on the charges in a conductor.